I wouldn't need sound check because with the people inside it's going to be different anyway.
Yeah,
It's going to change. So I prefer to sing and then up and down. I can adjust while singing. That's best.
You've been around for a while, so.
Well, professionally with Gotthard it's 20 years now, so it's a long period of time. But we're proud. It's a good friendship, and I think after these long years, you know each other very well. You know exactly how to deal with each other, and it works fine.
Like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I would say yes.
From the beginning now, you talked about 20 years with the band. Before the band, what was there?
Well, you see, I think we started like pretty much every normal rock and roll band. You started as a school kid, dreaming of being able to live from music, which especially back then in Switzerland wasn't really the case, because I mean the bands who made it big in Switzerland and outside Switzerland is actually, I would say, you can count it on one hand. So in this kind of music, I mean Crocus was there, and maybe other bands like Celtic Frost or stuff like that, but then again it's a different kind of music.
Honestly, first time I heard about you guys, the only band I knew from your country was Crocus.
Yeah, that's right, because they were the typical 80s rock band. They made it big in the States as well.
I remember them, seeing them live on Dortmund.
That's right. They played a lot in Germany as well.
My first concert with you guys was when you supported Magnum.
Oh, Magnum, that's 91 or probably. Yeah, probably. I remember that one too. That was a tough tour. But I think everybody in the band played in different bands before. We started as a dream. And then, you know, the magic match happens, or maybe it doesn't. It worked out for us, and we started as a school band, actually, more or less. Everybody wanted to dream, to live from music, which wasn't so easy.
We sat around here, talked about what was before.
Before Gotthard.
We saw on your profiles like For Sale or
on my person. Well, I started as a keyboarder when I was a kid, because my parents told me if you want to do music, you got to play an instrument, not something like a drum, which is loud. So I started with keyboards, but I was always dreaming about being a drummer. So I started to play drums when I was maybe 14, 15 years old. I went to school. I wanted to become the best drummer, and then our singer quit the band when I was in For Sale, which was a hobby, semi-professional band, I would say, and he didn't want to sing anymore. So we had one more concert to do as an opener for Marillion at that time. That was 87, I think. And so he quit the band, and we had to do the concert. So everybody looked at me in the band, and they told me, Steve, you're a good drummer, but you should sing. You know the songs, you know the lyrics, you can sing, because I used to sing the harmonies behind the drum. And that's how it happened, actually. So it was a baptism of fire somehow. 9,000 people were there, and I've never sung on the stage. So.
But you still play the drums occasionally?
I love to play drum, and occasionally we do a drum battle, Hen and I. But it's rare, because it really depends from the size of the venues. In Switzerland or Germany we can do that because it's bigger sizes. You got smaller places or clubs, it's technically almost impossible to do. But the drums are still in my heart, and I think it's very important when you write songs that you got the rhythm, and it's helpful when you write songs.
Talking about writing songs, when you write songs together with the band, it's a band effort. You do it together, or is it just you and Leo?
Well, there's no recipe for that. I would say that normally everybody comes up with ideas, so we're very democratic, as a Swiss band should be. So everybody comes up with ideas, but normally it's the three of us, Leo, Freddie and I. We start ideas, we come up with ideas, and then together we arrange the songs, we jam the songs, and everybody can say, oh, I like this, or I would change this, or I would do this beat. So it's very democratic.
Are you working in that kind of old-style rehearsal mood, or with digital equipment?
No, I would say it's more handmade music. I would say we're more into jamming, playing, have a good time, a glass of red wine, and you're having a good time. Then, of course, in the studio you can use all those equipments, those technology, which is helpful when you record songs. But when you write songs, I think it should come from the heart, because we tried different ways, to be honest. All the songs which made the best success for Gotthard were very spontaneous written songs. So that means 10 minutes of ideas and you come up with a great thing and you jam on it. But then if you try to put pieces together, normally you hear it, it's not natural, it doesn't come natural and it doesn't sound natural at the end.
And have you got a special rehearsing area, or do you meet up at someone's place? Or?
We got our own studio at Leo's house, Leo Leoni's house, where we recorded actually the last 4 studio albums. That's a lot.
That's
in Lugano. It's the south part of Switzerland, in Ticino, where we all live besides Mark, the basser.
Yeah.
And it's pretty sunny there. It's a nice place to be. We got the rehearsal room as well in Lugano. That's more the place we go when we gotta really play loud and jam together. In the studio, it's more. Yeah, it's small, but it's cozy to work and to maybe put down some ideas, even on tape. Sometimes you put some basic tracks, then you work on it, and sometimes we even keep it for the record. It happened before. But when we jam together, it's a bigger rehearsal room.
You usually let Leo produce the albums.
Yes.
But when you're not using Leo, are you giving the producer directions of how he should bring the Gotthard sound?
You see, after 20 years, you know exactly what you want and what you don't. But like the last Need to Believe album was Richard Chicky, the guy, a producer from Canada, who was really into the music. So we sent him some ideas of the record, and he said, "I like what you do, guys. I hear what you are." So he's not the kind of producer who tries to change the band. He wants to take the best of the band and make it better. And basically that's what happened. But of course sometimes you meet producers, they want to change completely, they want to do something new. You lose your identity. That's what normally happens.
Like with Mute Lang, you don't Mute Lang album doesn't sound like Bryan Adams. It sounds
like Mute Lang. Yeah, that's right. It's pretty much the same. But we really know what we don't want. So it's a symbiosis. You work together and you tell him we would like to do that, and he said, okay, it's your record, it's your songs. I can help you put down on tape what you really want, and it's going to sound more or less somewhere in between the idea of the producer and the band. Because Leo actually is a co-producer on the next album too. But I would say, I speak for the band. I mean, the whole band is coming up with sound suggestion as well and ideas. It's